Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is there any member of the panel that believes that the President's authority is too rigid as relates to getting licenses to export liquid gas? Is there any reason to change the existing law as relates to the President's authority to pass on the question as to whether or not the export is consistent with our national interests?
Mr. Rangel, I believe that the law is adequate as is, does not need to be changed. What I propose is some different or more detailed criteria that applications need to meet in terms of its impact on price, manufacturing jobs, climate change, and is this the fastest, cheapest way to secure more natural gas?
Well, I agree with you, but I'm asking the panel, are the people who disagree with you and believe that there should be changes in the existing law as relates to the Department of Energy. Mr. Clyburn.
Yes, I'd be happy to comment on that, Representative Rangel. I think whatever the law is, we need to be cautious about putting discretion in the hands of people who may exercise it in ways that aren't taking all the factors into account.
I don't think we're talking about people, Mr. Clyburn. We're talking about the President of the United States.
Yes, thank you, Representative Rangel. So I think a system that provides for more assurance that these things will be given a fair shot, up or down.
Let me ask you, Mr. Clyburn, have you got any evidence at all that the President's authority has prevented anyone from getting a license? No.
I'm looking at it from what I know of. I'm not an expert.
I'm assuming the answer is no. If you come up with a yes, then I want to tell the administration that they misled me, so we'll keep it open. But having said that, if I were right, and we're trying to work our way through it, as Mr. Weiss says, there's up and downs and everything. They're trade agreements. These are good. This is a pretty good hand that's been dealt us. But like any hand, it depends on who you're negotiating with, what they need, what they want, what we need. And, of course, we have to stay within the restrictions of the WTO. But when you're negotiating, right? So I just want to know, of course you have to be careful when you give authority to the executive branch. No one knows that better than the Congress. But do you have any reason to believe that that authority has been abused or not used in the way that most Americans would want it used? And that is that it takes a pretty good reason to deny someone a license to export.
As I understand it, this is a $50 application for this license, and yet it's taking months upon months or years to move forward. That does seem inconsistent.
But you don't have anything wrong with the reg. You have wrong with the implication of regulatory issues, which a lot of us do, but you're not here to change the law. Is that correct?
I don't know enough about the bill that's been proposed to be able to comment intelligently on it. I think things that would help it move forward more on a streamlined basis would be good for everyone.
I agree with you always. There's always room for improvement. So everyone is happy with the President and existing regulatory law, and you hope that we make certain that it's in the interests of the people, our homeowners, our manufacturers, and our national interests. And I agree with that. So I yield back the balance of my time.
I thank the gentleman, and I think the point is, Mr. Rangel, that this is not a hearing on a bill, on legislation, but I think the issue is that there are several dozen permits that are taking a long time to get permitted, and I think that's
we can speed that up. We'll as long as we're not legislating, I'll join with you in all that I can do, Mr. Chairman, in making certain we expedite these applications.